Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everybody to another episode of Cooking with Chef Dan Danis. I am making scallops today, pan-seared scallops. Yum, 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 yum. I have been waiting patiently to buy some scallops. And the other day I saw them and they were $50 a pound, but I went to the seafood place today and they were about $10 for 100 grams. And I said to myself, you know what? I don't need a pound. I'll just buy 100 and some grams, and that should be enough. They were nice pieces. I couldn't complain. I even got a nice little tube of wasabi. I love wasabi. You ever have wasabi? With the sushi. You have sushi, and I don't know if you've ever made sushi. I'm gonna make sushi one of these days. I'm gonna make sashimi too. Ooh, I used to make sashimi when I was catering for a place, and I tell you, I couldn't find the tuna cubes, and I found them today at the same place, and I'm like, oh my god, look at this. How many times I wanted to go and buy some sashimi and I couldn't find it, and there it was. There was all the stuff I needed. So, anyways, um, we're going to make scallops today, and I don't have emulsified brown butter, but hey, you don't need it. Just put some butter in the pan and it browns. That's the brown butter, and it'd be Montebeurre. It's called Montebeurre. The same thing as if you're searing salmon fillets, right? Remember, skin side down, turn it over, Montebeurre, stick it in the oven, and then let it carry over cooking. Okay. You temp it, carry over cooking. The same thing with the scallops. We're going to hit about 115 degrees, and then we're going to let it just sit, and it'll carry over cooking. So I have the Gislin in front of me. Okay, this is the one I was using in college. Wayne Gislin, professional cooking, right here. Oh, it's a heavy bugger, but it is the Bible. All right, for chefs. It is probably one of the greatest, best books you could ever get. And I tell you, when it comes to French cuisines, they call it a Bible for a reason. So, anyways, I'm looking in the back here and checking out scallops, and we got boiled scallops, page 637. We got fried breaded. We got salad and seared sea scallops with Oriental vinaigrette. That sounds neat. We have a shrimp, spicy shrimp and scallop saute. Let's look at the salad and seared sea scallops with Oriental vinaigrette. Now, I'm not going to make the Oriental vinaigrette, but maybe I can. I don't know. I got an immersion blender underneath the counter. Remember the little hand thing you could buy at Jean Couture, right? I don't know if there's many Vanier people, but a few of my subscribers, I know I'm from my area, so they will know Jean Couture has a variety of kitchen tools at a decent price. Let's see here. So, salad and seared sea scallops with Oriental vinaigrette. Wow, it's pretty. It's got oranges, and it's got looks like kale, lettuce. If you ever tried kale, I worked for this French cuisine one time, and they had kale salad, kale Caesar salad. They used baby kale. I mean, maybe you like arugula, but I like kale. And wow, just wow. If all you eat is iceberg lettuce or romaine, try something different. You know, um, cabbage, is one thing, but you try a kale, you try arugula. Open your open your varieties a little bit. It's good for the body. So I don't need a whole lot of information when it comes to scallops. I mean, it's not a difficult thing. So you go out and you buy your scallops, right? I'll show you what it looks like. You go buy your scallops. You get a little bag like this. This is $10 worth. Well, that's $50 a pound, but I mean, this is real seafood. This is good stuff. I actually got 4 pieces here, which is a piece more than I thought I would get. This is beautiful. Always good to put a little salt on seafood stuff. It lets them keep their seafoodness to them. I could keep that out for a minute. I'll just put that back. Okay, just for now. And I look at the book here. Now I know when you're boiling up a whole bunch of king crab and stuff, you want that acidicness. And you want the salt, you want the saltiness. You're going to use a lot of, garlic salt, and you're going to use a lot of this salt and that salt, and you're going to put it all together in your spice mix. And then you're going to throw in some lemons and whatever else into your boil. And then you're going to throw in your lobster and your crab and whatever else you want with your prongs. You throw in there your prongs too. I don't know if you ever have prongs too often. Prongs are really good. Wow, I'm right into seafood today. Going to that seafood place was so much fun, and I might go there and help there one of these days soon, and I'm looking forward to it if it happens. So, I mean, I'll be shucking some oysters, doing all that wonderful stuff. I love shucking oysters. I probably could shuck oysters a little faster than I had mentioned, during my session with the fellas in there. But we were talking about seafood. It was wonderful. But oysters, they can be a little funny too. I mean, some are easy to open, and then some give you a hard time. So I mean, I guess it can balance out. I said one a minute. It's I could probably do one every 10, 15 seconds. But then you get one, and the shell breaks. Or you get one and you just can't open it no matter how hard you try, or your shucker is too dull, for instance. Something like that happens. So I mean, or you're getting to be halfway through your shift and you've shucked already 100 oysters, and it just comes down to 40 seconds each, 50 seconds each. I guess everything depends in this world. Everything should be, when it comes to prep. All right, I understand sometimes you have to prep like balls of hamburger, in your hotel pan. You got to fill up the hotel pan, and you don't have all day to do it. I understand that. But, a great chef once told me that you should always try and better your previous score. I think I said that in one of my videos one time, but that's a good thing to go with. Always try to better your previous score. So anyways, enough of oysters. 350 milligrams of calcium, very high source of calcium. I haven't tried an oyster yet. I'm a little fishy when it comes to oyster. I'm a mussel man. I love mussels. I could eat clams. I could eat mussels. I just haven't gotten to the oyster thing yet. Maybe my body just doesn't crave calcium like that. Maybe I have already too much calcium, so my brain's like, nah, you don't have to eat that if you don't want to. Some people are deficient in it. I don't know. Maybe we're all a little deficient in it, kind of like a little magnesium. There was one point we had to have 350 milligrams of magnesium, and it's daily. And that's what we figured to be a regular, good thing. But I think they regulated that. I don't know if that's all true these days, but anyways, let's not talk about that. We're talking about pan-seared scallops. So the first thing you want to do when it comes to scallops, you want to dry them. All right, drying them is a very, very smart move. Yeah, you don't want to put them in wet, so I guess you're probably going to serve them with lemon. I'm going to add a little bit of salt. What does it say here? Salad of seared sea scallops with oriental vinaigrette. Okay, so they're having the seared scallops mixed with the salad with vinaigrette over top the salad, and it looks like they put a couple oranges in there. There's a salad that has oranges in it, isn't there? What do we call that salad that's got orange in it? Orange in it? Do I have it somewhere? I got so much stuff all over the place. Yeah, anyways, what is that salad with oranges in it? Cobb salad? Is that it? Cobb? It's Cobb, isn't it? It's got. Oh wait, Kung Pao maybe. Cobb or Kung Pao. One of them has oranges in it. Anyways, don't make a difference. We got mandarin oranges here, and it looks like kale and a nice vinaigrette. And let's see, the vinaigrette is 500 milliliters and is taught to us on page 672, which is not this page, so we don't really need to make a vinaigrette right now. Oh, what else? Goat cheese and walnut salad, mixed salad, blue cheese, walnuts. Oh, that's different. Anyways, let's stay on scallops. Wash and drain the salad greens. No, prepare the vinaigrette. No, trim the scallops by removing the small, tough side muscle. If any scallops are very large, cut them in half crosswise. Dry them well. Heat a little butter in a nonstick saucepan. Sear a few scallops at a time until they are browned on top and bottom. Now, I do believe it's a minute and a half to 2 minutes searing, and you don't want to touch them. You want a nice golden color on it. Just let them alone. All right, 1.5, 2 minutes tops. Okay, flip them over. Let's here. Toss something with half the vinaigrette. Mound them in the center of the plate. Arrange the orange segments. They're telling us how to make the salad. Arrange the scallops around the salad. Drizzle the remaining vinaigrette around the scallops. Vinaigrette on scallops? I don't think so. It'd be around the scallops. So, by the looks of it, we have our seared scallops. So we got a pan, and we're putting oil or butter in the pan. I think I would start with oil. I think it says butter here. Listen to me, unsalted butter, okay? Unsalted butter, whatever. That's okay. We go with unsalted butter. It says butter. Let's go with unsalted butter, okay? So we got our pan, melted butter, hot pan, right? Hot butter, hot pan. You got your scallops. We're going to make them really dry. All right, so we're going to dry them off in something that won't stick to them. So I guess a paper towel is out of the question of solid. So it doesn't break off and end up in the scallop. You don't use a furry towel either for that, because you don't want, little cotton balls in your scallops. That would be pretty bad, wouldn't it? So you're going to dry the scallops, hot butter, hot pan. You're going to arrange the scallops in a clock formation around the outer part of the pan. All right. So keep the scallops away from the inner part of the pan. Okay. Put them in the outer part of the pan, like clock. 1, 2, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, rock. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. Okay, but we only got 4 scallops in there, so we're only going to go to 4 o'clock. But since there's only 4, we'll use that half of the pan, all right? Because when I go to Monte Beurre, all right, I'm going to want to melt the butter at the top of the pan where there's no scallops. It's going to melt, and you're going to tip the pan into the scallops. All right. And then you're going to Monte Beurre. So I imagine, right, just like the pan-seared salmon, After you flip the salmon is when you're going to monter beurre. So you're going to wait a minute and a half, 2 minutes tops, only for huge scallops, 2 minutes, okay? So my little scallops are going to be about a minute and a half. You're going to get a nice sear there. Remember, hot pan, hot butter, nice sear. I'm going to flip it over. You should have a nice golden underneath it. Flip over 1, 2, 3, 4 in the same order that you put them in, all right? Time means a lot. Okay, so you flip them over, you grab your butter, you throw it in, you tip the pan. Once it's melted, all right, you take your spoon, you monte the beurre, all right, and that's just going to be for a minute, all right, and then we're going to place them on a cooling tray, and or a pie plate, and you can keep them in a warm area under the hot lamp, so to speak, until you have, well, what looks to be a salad here that's going to go with it. And then we're going to put our salad down. So say we're going to have some kale and we're going to make a vinaigrette, or we can buy the vinaigrette at the store. Hey, this is home cooking, right? Okay, so we're gonna we're gonna get our pieces of kale, all right, and we're going to mix the kale in with some vinaigrette, and not a lot, just a little bit, and then we're going to put it in the middle of the plate, and then we're going to take our scallops, we're going to arrange them on the outer parts of the plate. All right. Now I've said never put things on the rim of a plate. Things aren't supposed to go on the rim of a plate. So imagine a bigger plate. Okay. The plate we have in the picture here has the scallops on the rim of the plate, and I don't like that. Hey, to each their own. You're the chef. Don't forget that. So if you feel it's not right, then don't do it. I know this is the Gislin. This is the way they tell you how to do it. But, I mean, it's not all about plating food. It's about making food. If there's anything it's a Bible about, it's making food. Now, plating it. Now, remember, every restaurant plates their food differently. That's where, the manager says, you don't have any experience. No, the experience has to do with plating. All right. You go to school to be a chef, you are experienced. But every restaurant will plate their food differently. And that's where experience comes in when it comes to working at new restaurants. You got to learn how to plate the food. That's where you get the experience. Once you've learned to plate food at whatever new restaurant you're working at, you become a master at that restaurant you're working at. In fact, you get to a point where you can do everything and you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about nothing. You are secure. Now, as for plating these, I would use a bigger plate. I wouldn't put anything on the rim. I'd put my salad in the middle. I'd push the scallops up a little bit against the lettuce. All right, the lettuce that's already been mixed with a little bit of vinaigrette already. Now, I would take some vinaigrette, maybe pour a little bit in between, but try not to touch the scallops too much. Vinaigrette and scallops just doesn't make my palate tingle, So I take a couple of oranges, peel the oranges. All right. Now, peeling the orange is not just taking the peel off of the orange. Okay. I mean, you got orange peel, right? So you got your orange, and then you got orange peel. The peel, right? Okay. So you peel the orange, but every slice of orange has a skin on it, and you got to take that skin off. It's not that hard. I'll show you one of these days. So you take the skin off of every slice. You're going to use maybe 3 or 4 slices, okay? And you're going to put it on your salad nicely, all right? And I wouldn't mix the vinaigrette in with the orange. Keep the orange separate. So when you're mixing the vinaigrette with the lettuce leaves, with the kale leaves, you're not using a lot of vinaigrette, just a little bit. You don't want to drench them. All right. You're going to mix them in the steel mixing bowl, and you're going to plop it in the middle of the plate. And then you're going to take some peeled oranges, maybe 3 or 4, make them nice. 1, 2, 3, a nice tripod looking thing. Maybe 4. You're going to put your scallops on the outskirts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe. Right. And you can be a little fancy with it. Maybe you can do that. Say you took a little balsamic vinegar, or something, just something different. But yeah, I don't like the idea of touching the scallops. I'm thinking like a little drop in between of each. One little drop of a different color in between of each, just for a little something. You want to go one step further with that. Shave a little bit of carrot shavings and throw that on top. Right? It'd be really nice. Or what do you call that machine? A zester. Yeah, it's not a machine. It's one of the tools you'll have, and it's like this long. I have one. Of course, I have one. I got one of everything in here. Like I got all sorts of funny stuff here, and this one's for shrimp. That's my shrimp. But anyways, a zester is you take lemon for a lot of things, and you'll zest it, into soup, on top of salads, whatever. And you could probably zest a little carrot in there. You zest a little lemon in there. Zest the orange peel, right? And you just cover the top a little bit. If it was a different kind of salad, you could go with Parmesan, something like that. It's always nice to go a little extra, take a little extra step. Some people will think parsley, but you don't want to put too much parsley. That's more of a 90s thing. I mean, some people don't really, Michelin star restaurants don't often, cover their plates with parsley anymore. It's something they did in the 90s, and it was very nice, but it's going out of style. Um, Anyways, that's just my opinion on it. So is there anything else? Um, Brown butter, lemon wedge. I don't see any lemon wedge in this picture. Hello? All right, well, I didn't buy any lemon wedge. All right. Now, lemon wedge does go with many things. It goes with a Caesar salad. Lemon wedges go with fish fillets, like halibut or something like that. And you put some lemon and some tartar sauce. And tartar sauce is really easy to make. You got your relish and your mayonnaise. It's pretty simple. You can add a little extra to it, like a dash of lemon juice in there and mix it all up. Or and maybe some pepper and salt, if you want to. Yeah, throw that in. That makes a nice little tartar sauce. And tartar sauce goes with fish, and you put that on the sides and a little on the side, and a little not terrine. What do you call it? Little dipping cups. Anyways, a terrine is it's a big thing like this. You'll throw your tools in a terrine. When you're working on the line, you just throw your tools in a terrine like this. Not with the sleeve on it, but you throw it in, and the terrine's full of water. And it cleans the tool, so you take it out and you can wipe it off with a cloth or something like that. And that's not really the way you're supposed to do it, because there's sanitation rules to certain things, but it's a place. I mean, it all depends, what you're working with. If you're working with, salmonella chicken and stuff like that, you have, 2 sets of tongs. You have one tong that is for cooked food and one tong for uncooked food when you're working with chicken. Remember, chicken 165. Don't forget. All right. You can do a little carryover cooking with that, okay? But don't overdo it and don't overcook it because you don't want dry chicken. They did that at the last place I worked at. Um, I'm not going to name any names there because I won't. But you cook something to 185, 200. You got dry chicken. It's not a very tasty chicken. You want to give chicken a little bit of carryover cooking. All right, which means that you cook it to like 160, 158, something like that, and you let it sit on its own, and it cooks on its own. All right, it's still cooking off of the heat of where it was, in the fryer, in the oven, whatever. You take it out, it's still cooking. It's called carryover cooking, right? And it'll cook to 165, and it'll be juicy, it'll be tender, it won't be dry. It'll be good. You do that with pan-seared salmon. You do that with the scallops. That's what I'm going to do with the scallops, and and a lot of other things. Um, you can't really do it with pasta. I'm just saying, I mean, a steak. Okay, a steak. Now remember your temps for a steak. Rare, medium well, and then well done. So you got 120 to 125, 130 to 135, goes up by 5 each time. You just skip one. That's how you remember. Just start at 120, all right, for rare. 120 to 125, that's rare, all right. 130, you skip 5, okay. So 120 to 125 is rare. Medium rare, you skip 5, all right. 130 to 135, all right. Medium, you're going to skip 5. 140 to 145, all right. 150 to 155, 160 to 165 is well done. Don't forget carryover cooking. Once that sucker is up on the cooling pan, all right, on the drip pan, whatever, it's like a pan and then a grate on top of the pan that just sits there, and you can put that right on your grill if you want to, and on the cool side, all right. But that'll sit there, and a steak, to get a good steak, you got to let it sit for a few minutes, all right. And if you don't, then you just got too much yuck. It's not good enough, just sorry, it doesn't work. So we know about carryover cooking. We know about scallops. We made a little bit of salad. We talked about peeling an orange. Don't forget to dry your seafood, dry your salmon, dry your scallops. You got to dry it, pat it dry. They say not to pat dry with paper towel or something like that because pieces of the paper towel will end up sticking to it. I mean, do what feels right at the time. All right, some places can afford better tissue, and that won't happen. Some places can't afford it. So I mean, if your chef is doing it, I'm sure it's okay. Let's just go with that. Okay. But anyways, make sure your fish is dry. When you're cooking certain seafoods, like your shrimps, all right, add a little salt to it. Keep their seafood flavor. All right, they're from the sea. The sea is full of salt. You keep that flavor by adding salt, right? So you take some shrimps, for instance. Okay, so we're going to make some prawns, and we're going to take the little bugger and we're going to pull its head off. All right, and then we're going to take a fork and we're going to stick it down its leg side. It's got a whole bunch of legs coming out like this, right? You take the fork, right, and you just go in from the top and pull out, and those legs will come out. You can also rip them off like this if you want to. All right, and then take the shell off. All right, you can take the tail off if you want to. Some people that like to keep the tail there. All right. You turn the shrimp over on the backside, and you stick your fork through the backside. All right. Or you make a little incision if you want to, and then you pull out the poop sack. All right. There's a it's a long string of gut that you don't want. Okay, so you pull that out, and and then you're going to take them, and you're going to put them in a steel bowl, that you make your salad, that you mix your salad up in, your Caesar, whatever. And you're going to take a bowl, and you're going to put the shrimp in there that are fixed now. They're prepped. You're going to throw some salt in there, and you're going to, not a whole lot of salt, just cover a little bit in salt, and you're going to mix them up like that. Okay, nice and easy. All right, and then you're going to take a little bit of flour. All right, and you're going to mix them up in flour a little bit. Throw a little flour there. And then you're going to have your pre-made batter. I mean, everybody makes different batter. There's a different batter for all sorts of things. There's a batter mixed with beer, and then there's a batter mixed with seltzer, and there's a batter mixed with this, and a batter mixed with Mountain Dew, and there's a batter mixed with all sorts of stuff. So you're going to mix your batter, and what's that? I think it's cornstarch, flour, salt and pepper, different things in there, and then you're going to into the flour, and then into the batter. So the batter is going to have, say, you can put some egg whites, egg whites, egg whites, and some flour and cornstarch, is it? Something like that. Anyways, you mix it up. All right. And then you're going to batter your shrimp. And you're going to throw the shrimp in the fryer oil. And next to no time later, they're going to be golden. You're going to take them out nice and golden like. And then you're going to let them sit on something that'll take the oil out of them, or just let them sit for a minute, and the oil will drain out of them, and then you plate them, and you got perfectly well done shrimp. The cornstarch, there's so many recipes of making batter, I mean, and typically you put flour. If flour helps the batter stick on whatever you're battering, So I mean, if you're battering halibut, for instance, you're going to take your fillet, and you're going to stick it in flour first, and then you're going to drench it in your batter, whatever batter you made, and then you're going to put it into the hot oil. Now you can use tongs. Tongs will often ruin the fillet. A lot of people will use a skewer, a little wooden skewer like this. It's nice and sharp there. A couple episodes ago, I was making shrimp. Shrimps came off of these skewers. All right, so you just stick the fillet on there, and then you dip it down like this, but not on too much of an angle. You don't want to stick your finger in that hot oil, because it's about 3 weeks to heal, and it's not going to make your life very happy working at the restaurant. So you learn from your mistakes. Don't let that be one of them. I'm closing up the gizzling for now. I'm going to go make those scallops and hopefully enjoy them. I'm wishing I had some lemon. Lemon and limes are two things that I'm going to talk about on another episode. I'm still working on making steak. I'm sorry I haven't gotten to that, Philip. I think that's what his name was. I'm supposed to make some flank steak, I think it is. Looking for a few recipes anyways to put that together, and then we'll do that. But I want to show you how to make that lemons and limes. Now, you're working at a bar. A lot of times your restaurant will be at a bar. All right, and at a bar is going to have vodka, shooters, and all this stuff. And it's a bar. Waitresses will ask you, all right, to cut some limes for them, to cut some lemons for them. All right. They're going to ask you to do it. In fact, they shouldn't even have to ask you. You just do it. You know, stick them in the fridge. Make sure you always date and name your product that you were storing in the refrigerator. It doesn't hurt to put a time on it. Also, name, date, time. Name, date, time. You don't have to buy those tags. All right. The owner of a restaurant doesn't have to buy tags. If you're watching this, you can just use simple painter's tape, works perfectly fine, and you save yourself a fortune in tags. All right. Every chef, or cook will have one of these Sharpies stuck in here, right? Goes right there. You can see it. It's always there. Usually you have a pen there too, and then there's the thermometer that's in there, a thermometer, and a digital, and you usually have that. So that's it. Is that it? That's it. Monteburro, brown butter, pan seared, 115 degrees. All right. Is that Fahrenheit or Celsius? Just testing you. So next time will be lemon wedges, maybe. I don't know. See, I'll grab a couple. And it doesn't make much of a video, but it's something I can add to a video to make it a little bit longer. I'm at 36 minutes now. I hope you enjoyed. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, send me a message if you have an idea for me to make something fun. I will be involving myself in I will be involving our videos, these videos, in making pasta, maybe a ravioli is something I can do here because I have a rolling pin. I don't have a machine, all right, like I did at school. I'm still looking for one at the thrift shop. If I go to buy it, right, it's a lot of money. So, sometimes you see them at the thrift stores with so many other different tools, and you can get it with a discount price. You see, I don't make it that often, but homemade pasta is superb. It is so wonderful. And if you're able to get one of those machines, then go ahead and do it. Otherwise, ravioli is a pretty simple one to do. And okay, give me a second. 2 seconds. I'm going to show you what I do. All right. And I'll get the zester too. All right, so there it is, and my zester. All right, well, my zester's on an angle. I can't seem to find it. It is in my stock pot with my 100 other tools there. I just can't find it. But here, this is something I made for pasta for them. So I cut little holes in here, all right, and that's where the meat's gonna go. You see that? And then you have this one, right? So you can put your meat in the little holes, and and then you can make your ravioli like that. So I made this for ravioli. See the squares? It works well. I know it's rough. I cut it out with an X-Acto knife, but it's just it's packing material. That's all it is. It's just packing material. But I made ravioli with it, right? So you want to make ravioli at home? I'll show you how to use it later. My zester, it's just gone somewhere. I don't know. It's got to be in there. It's about this long, and you zest your lemon, and you zest your lime, and you zest your orange. I guess you're not really supposed to zest carrot, but I don't know. I was just thinking, what if you could? It's probably on a miniature grater would be a better place to do carrot. Zest carrot. Anyways, I'm a funny one, aren't I? I hope you're laughing with me. So that's it. 39 minutes. Have a wonderful day. Thank you very much for watching. Bye-bye.